right. How's it going? My name is Alex Koff, and I'm going to be breaking down for my screencast a data set regarding birth dates in Canada and looking how they correlate with positions, like what day of the week they were born and so on. So we're just going to go step by step and see what happens. Right. So let's see where we start here. The screencast project, get that set up, and then we will be underway. All right. Oh, yep. Just the intro. You can pause the screen, this video, if you want to read. It's just the breakdown of what we have to do for this project. But let's see if we want to. I'm just gonna go over my topics real quick. So, four things I want to look at is if the birthday of the week has any correlation to the position the player plays in the NHL, if the province born has any relation to what division or conference they play in, a look to see if the birth month has a correlation to their average height and weight, and then the differences between those countries, such as Russia, Sweden, Canada, the United States, and so on. And then the final thing I want to look at is looking how every month's total births in Canada since 1991 relates to every player in the NHL born in the same year, using probably a table to display the total births, number of NHL players born that year, and a percentage based off the two. So let's start with number one, which was the birthday of the week, if it has any correlation to the position they play. So we're gonna read in the tidyverse, Lubridate, and GG Repel. Tidyverse is basically just the normal stuff you use. Lubridate's going to help me with the dates, and GG Repel is going to help me if I want to label anything in my plots later on. So I got the URLs from the Tidy Tuesday repository. You can find it at these links here. Just going to read in the data with that. Just makes it a lot smoother than having to download all the CSVs to my computer. All right, so we got those all read in up here. And yeah, let's start on thing number one. So let's just label it real quick beforehand so we know where we are at all times. Week relation to position. All right. So let's see. Let's make this a little bigger. We can read what it is. So we have Canadian bursts, NHL player bursts, NHL rosters, and the teams. So we're just gonna start with Lubridate and just mutate the original NHL player birth. So just gonna go NHL. We're gonna go capital NHL. So it's a new one. NHL player birth. We're gonna mutate that, and then we're gonna just call this day. Let's see, of week birth day. So it's explicit what we want to do with it. And then we're going to apply the weekdays function from Lubridate. And that should give us the weekdays on when the players were actually born. Don't know why that right. Oh, there we go. So then we're just going to apply that to birth date. And let's see if that works. Got NHL, it's over here, added a variable. And yep, so we got Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday on when these guys were born. So now, since we want to look at the Canadian players primarily, at least for the first part of this. We're gonna take that original one and we're just gonna call it Canadian players. And mutate once again this one, but not mutate, we're gonna filter. So we have the filter, we're gonna apply the filter, and we want to filter by birth country and make sure it is equal to Canada. So I think, let's make sure this is right. Yeah, so the birth country is Canada for this one. So you can see we have some Swedens in there, some Czech Republic, Latvia, USA. So want to make sure we apply Canada to that. So we only get those Canadian born players. Run that, cuts us down to 5,400. Next, I believe we want to create one data set with the NHL rosters and their birth. So you can see the rosters here. It has, their position type, first name, last name, height, and everything. But we want to get that, what's the word? I want to get the Canadian born players mixed in with the NHL rosters and then just apply that day of the week on that side. It's probably a easier way to do it. That's just the best way I thought to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. So we are gonna see, I believe we left join because go NHL player burst. Let's see. NHL rosters and by player ID, I think it's called. Yeah, it's player underscore ID. We want to make sure this is the capital NHL. Oh, so let's see if this works. Oh, NHL roster. Oh, NHL rosters is not found. Correct. This is what it's supposed to be, the capital NHL. Now let's see how this works. Player ID is not found. It's found right there. And it's found right there. So I think there might have to be quotes on this. This is the moment of truth here because we'll go over, and if it has a weekday, we're good. Oh, doesn't. Okay. So don't know if we want a left join actually. It might be an inner join. Um, all right, so we're getting a lot of repeat players. Huh. Okay. Oh, I guess there's the birthday of the week right there. But I don't know if we want to, because this is going to take it from every season. So let's see. That's going to create a data set, but then we want to group by player ID. So let's try this. So following that, group by player ID and see if we can just shrink that down a little bit. No, it's still giving us so bright. Huh. We group by player ID. All right. Didn't work exactly how I wanted to, but don't know why it would give me multiple player IDs. Let's see. If I did an inner join, it's the seasons that it's giving me. So If we group by player ID, or if we group by birth date X. Probably gonna give me the, yeah. So we're getting a lot of the same things. Um, quick search on, yeah, we're just gonna do a quick search and see what we can find on getting rid of some of these. My computer doesn't want to explode. Um, we go to the Tidy Tuesday. Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna check out this Tidy Tuesday thing. I believe the person who shared all this stuff actually explained what to do with this, and I think I missed it. So we're just gonna check this out real quick. I'm gonna pause you guys and maybe, yeah, we're just gonna pause this. And be right back. All right, so took a look at it and let's figure out where we went wrong. So if we do an inner join, figured it would be a, maybe if we want to do an inner join by inner join, and maybe let's just see what it does by itself without saying by anything. So still giving us the same thing. Okay. Well, we have a lot of Donald Audettes. Oh. Oh. Getting a little confusing. Gonna pause this one more time. I apologize. All right. So instead of joining here, I think we're going to go an alternate route where we are going to apply this mutate function we did up here to the NHL rosters function or data frame, and then we're going to see how this works. All right, so it gives us that. Gives us a position code. And I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but it's worth a try to start at least. So after that, let's see, we're going to group by there. Wait, we gotta make sure we name that actually. So we're just gonna rename that NHL rosters. All right, so we have that. Now we're gonna take that NHL rosters. Make sure to put capital L up here so it doesn't mess us up. Take that. We're going to group by the position code and the weekday, or whatever the day of week we decided to call it. And after that, we want to summarize count of position equals, then we're just gonna end that. So this should group us by, yeah, so there were 2,122 centers born on Fridays and so on. So defensemen, yeah, so I believe these NHL rosters are going back a large amount of time. I'm not sure if there's duplicates in there, but this is what we have right now, and we're just gonna roll with that. So now with the data we have, we're gonna create a bar chart kind of displaying the skew based off position and day of the week. So we're gonna take ggplot plus GM bar. I'm gonna throw our data in there as NHL rosters. Once we save this as the new NHL rosters up here. Well, NHL count actually. Should have, see, three observations. Perfect. So we'll call that NHL count. And then we're gonna want to throw our aesthetic in the, actually no, I think we can just do our X. So our X is gonna be weekdays or day of the week. Birthday. Followed by, it's gonna be very rough. Day of week, birthday not found. All right, let's see where NHL count is. So day of week, birthday is there. Oh, might miss the aesthetic. Not what we wanted. So let's see if we can get our Y to be something else. I think our Y wants to be, see what that said again. I think our Y should probably be the count of position. And we get an error. Okay. Not going so hot right now. Wonder if I do a GG point instead, if it would look even, if it would look better. Not as good, but if I can now color code by position. So let's see if we can do that here. I'm going to, let's see. I think it's called position code actually, yeah. Nope. Okay. I think this might actually have to go inside the aesthetic. No. Want the color equal the position code, but I want it to be different. There we go. Okay, so once we look at this, we can see there are more defensemen than any other thing. It is a little rough right now, so I think we might want to add just see if we can add a little bit of text to it, clean it up. I am going to not cheat, but go to a previous project that I know I already have my text on there that I can just edit. So let's do that. X is going to be the day of week. Born. Number of players is going to go on the Y. By position and day of week born. Don't need a subtitle. Actually, we'll kind of explain defense are or lead every day of week, which makes sense because it's a broader thing. There's two defensemen. You're not limited to center, left wing, forward. Source, Heidi Tuesday. Now let's try this. And it looks all right. So goalies make sense, are the lowest down there, followed by it looks like right wings other than on Sunday, and then left wings, centers are second behind defensemen. All right, so we got past that. There is somewhat of not really of a correlation just because defense lead every single category. But all right, we're gonna get on to thing number 2, which was does the province the player is born have a relation towards their division they play in? Okay, so we are going to take, since Canadian players are the only one that has provinces, we're going to use our Canadian over here. Let's just make sure it still works. Canadian players, let's run that. Okay, so we got all our Canadian players. Perfect, wonderful, fantastic. Next, we're going to have to manually divide these teams into their conferences or divisions, I should say. So on the side here, I'm just going to pull up the conference list or division list because off the top of my head, I can't remember. NHL divisions. And all right. So we are going to start with the Atlantic. So starting with the Atlantic should be pretty easy. We're just going to take NHL teams, wherever it was. I think, yep, NHL teams. And we're just gonna select Florida. Let's see what they're called before we get going, so we know how it's formatted. We're just gonna select the team code. Most of these, not all of these, are still active today, and vice versa. So I believe it goes till, see what we have here. Canadian bursts. This is gonna go to, let's see, goes till 2022. So I'm just gonna do my best to align these as best as possible. So, because the top 8 here really don't, or the top, oh wow, yeah, until you get to, most of these don't even exist anymore. So we're gonna start from 27 down and go from there, just to keep it simple. So starting with Florida. Okay. We don't want to select. We want to filter. No. Yeah. We're going to group by team code or team. We'll go team names, full name. And then select Florida Panthers. Boston Bruins. It's going to be a little tedious, but it'll be fine in the end. Nope, not that. Go Maple Leafs. Tampa Bay Lightning. Detroit Red Wings. Buffalo. Oh, forgot my quotation. Buffalo Sabres. Senators. Make sure they, I know they were a weird one. I think, okay, we have Ottawa Senators still. Ottawa Senators, and then Montreal. And how did they spell this? Because sometimes they give it a, oh, yeah, there's the weird E. So we're going to actually copy and paste this one. And so it actually reads it correctly. All right, so let's see if this works for Atlantic. It should air. Okay. Florida Panthers doesn't exist. Um, I want to select maybe, and then full name equals. It's the only thing I can think of. Let's try that. So full name now isn't found, even though it's right there. Oh man. Okay. I actually have to just filter. Might be the easiest. Full. Okay, so I actually feel like I don't even need this. All this stuff I just read in. Unexpected quote. Okay. Okay, so the Atlantic, and now I might be able to read if I interjoin Atlantic and NHL teams. Let's try this now. Or do we have, oh, we have to read the Atlantic as a data frame first. So, okay, so okay, we're gonna read that in. So we have one by there, and now we run this line, it should interjoin them, I hope. Apparently no. Cross join maybe. That's not it. Okay. So if I rename, see if I can rename. Sorry for the confusion. We're gonna rename mutate. Not mutate, we're gonna add column. We're just gonna rename Atlantic equals full name. Might have this backwards, so we'll see in a second. Yep. Full name doesn't exist, so this is gonna be full name. Okay, so that gives us full name. We're gonna rename that to Atlantic now. And then we should be able to interjoin them, I'd imagine. We'll name this Atlantic div. Unselected. Atlantic div, that gives us full name up at the top. Now, let's try to interjoin the Atlantic div and NHL teams. Please work. Perfect. There we go. So this is going to be our official Atlantic division. And it's going to be a little tedious because we're going to have to do that for every other one here. So bear with me. Atlantic division has two. All right. So bear with me. We're going to do the same thing for the next three divisions. So we have the Metropolitan, call it Metro to start. And it's just going to be C. And we're just got New York Rangers. Carolina Hurricanes. And I don't think this data is updated with the two most recent teams that have been added, the Golden Knights and the Seattle Kraken. So we're going to exclude them from any entries within the divisions just to keep a clean slate because I believe, yeah, they are not on this. So, oh, they are actually. So Seattle's on this. Oh, no, excuse me. We're good to go. So Carolina Hurricanes, the New York Islanders, the Washington Capitals, Pittsburgh Penguins, capital P there. The Philadelphia Flyers, Actually, make sure I have my spell check right on that. Philadelphia Flyers. There we go. Guess I could also just copy and paste these in, but I like to check the spelling sometimes. The New Jersey Devils and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Feed them in. So they should also go down as a value right now. Yep. Then we're just gonna have easily copy and paste this all and replace it with the Metro. So Metro, Metro. Metropolitan. Metropolitan. I think that's spelled right. Metropolitan. Yes. Metro. And then that. Into this next one. Into the next one. And what we should get is a metropolitan division up here. That is interjoined once again. Perfect. Oh, nope. Missing two. I think I might have spelled something wrong. Carolina Hurricanes. So I think I spelled Carolina wrong. Yep, Carolina is not a place. Cool if it was. So Carolina's wrong and Washington is wrong. Just misspelled them. Now let's try it. Metropolitan Division should have 8 now. Perfect. Okay, so we have to do the Central and the Pacific, and then we should be good to create a chart looking at their province by division. So, all right. So, because then I can interjoin all these, possibly. We'll figure it out. Okay, so we have, what are we doing? We're fine. So we're gonna do the central now. Got the Dallas Stars. Winnipeg, that's not right. Colorado Avalanche. Arizona Coyotes. And my dear old Chicago Blackhawks. Run that. 8 variables. Gonna do the same thing we did down here. All right, so that should give us the central with 8 observations up here. Central doesn't exist. It should. It was. Oh, got something. There we go. Okay, there's our central division right there. And all right, let's get this through. This is just going to be the Pacific, followed by the remaining teams. Very tedious, but pretty easy in terms of having to clean up stuff. So Vancouver Canucks, Edmonton Oilers. Feel free to skip through this just because it's a tedious process, but once we get through this, we should be able to look at province in relation to what team they play for. So Edmonton Oilers. And let's see, I think it's spelled Los Angeles. Let's go look. I don't want to make another mistake of reading them in. Yep, we're just gonna copy and paste those ones. Los Angeles Kings, perfect. Vegas Golden Knights. Calgary Flames. Yeah, the newest Seattle Kraken. The Anaheim Ducks. And last but not least, the San Jose. Oops. San Jose Sharks. Make sure San Jose isn't spelled with a weird letter either. San Jose, where are you? Perfect. All right, we should be good here. Read that in, give us a value of the Pacific. Perfect. And just basically copy and paste Pacific into every place that says Central now. Read that in. Should give us a Pacific division, 2 variables. And now, just so players show up with their division, oh, didn't want to do that. I am going to take the Pacific Division, Central Division, and and all of them basically. And just, oh, what's the other one? Atlantic. And I'm just going to mutate a column in that is called just the name of their division. So it's just going to be division, and it's going to be equals to, or we should say equals Pacific. And copy these down here, paste, paste, paste. And so this can be central. Metro, and Atlantic. Should add 1 row to all of them. Okay, yep. So now we can just override all these. Let's call this Pacific Central. Actually, let's go all caps in it. Metro. Put twos at the end so we don't overwrite anything. Oops. And shit, two. Okay, so should be good now to go through with merging all these into the Canadian. So we're just gonna full join those. Full join Pacific, Central, Metro, and Atlantic. Since it's a full join, they shouldn't overlap each other. It should just be a list. Oh, I was wrong. Be a named character. Thought it should have been a full join. Let me make sure I'm. Um, what's a full? Not sure why full join wouldn't work. Um, oh, I just didn't join them all at once, I guess. Oh, undo that. Okay. Taking way longer than I thought. I apologize, but we'll get it done. So it's gonna be pass and sent. Not gonna matter in a second. Met and full join Metro Atlantic. Run those two. Little messy. And now NHL teams. Full join pack. Send into the Metro and Atlantic. That should give us our full NHL teams. 32, perfect. There's 32 teams in the NHL. Checks out. Now we can look at the province. We're gonna should be able to interjoin these. Interjoin Canadian players by NHL teams. Wrong. Let's see. Where's their Canadian born players? My guess it's just not a common thing. So, oh, we did the Canadian players. We want to do rosters as Canadian players. So, NHL rosters, filter. birth country. All right, we're back on track. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's why. Yep, 3,600 observations. So I think it's a couple duplicates. You'd have to go in and figure out how to combine all those, which I do not know how to do off the top of my head. So we're just gonna roll with this. But we're gonna interjoin CAN and NHL teams. And ideally, gives us the team code over there. Perfect. And perfect. Give us the division that they played for. So now we're going to group by. First, we want to name that full divisions or something like that. Full div, we'll just say. So run that real quick. Yada yada. Okay, so we're gonna take full div, group it by the province. See what it was called actually. I think it was just province, but first state province. Okay. First state province and division. And then we want to summarize that. And so count, we'll just call it just count by province equals n. Run that. So there is the most come from way is Alberta, plays in the Atlantic, and so on. And then I think eventually, oh no, let's arrange it by descending so we can see it. Arrange descending, count by province. Now let's test this out. Perfect. So the most is from Ontario, born in the Atlantic. Granted, like I said before, there could be some duplicates. So for example, if a guy played 40 years in the same division, born from Ontario, that could have an effect on it. But this is just, we'll call this seasons based off province. And now we're basically going to create the same type of chart we did above. So I'm just going to save myself some time and copy and paste this down here. But instead of that, we're gonna go full div, I believe we called it. Perfect. Call full div 2 because we're gonna rename this one. Run that. Cool. Okay, so X we wanted to be, let's go division. Y is obviously going to be our count by province. And for here, we're going to go first state province. Day of week, nope. Now this is going to be our division played. Number of players still. Number of players by province and division played in. Okay. Subtitle we'll just get rid of for now. And let's see how this looks. Yeah, so pretty much same sort of thing. I mean, you can see Ontario is basically leading in almost every category, even though honestly, I think it might be cleaner if we go the color as the division, and on the X we put the birthday province. So let's take a look at that real quick. See if we can chord flip this. It's the only thing that might work a little better. Chord flip. Okay, yeah. So obviously could be a little cleaner, gets in there, but gives you a general story that every single person, most of the Canadian born players are from Ontario. If you can see the smallest line or the smallest plot point there. So based on time, I think we're just gonna go into the third one and call it a wrap, which the third one I believe was looking at the height based off the month they were born. So the month NHL players were born based off the height. So roster, let's see. And I believe we can use this countries by month. On the left join. So we only need the NHL rosters. Yep. Think we cleaned something up here that might be beneficial though. Capital NHL rosters, or is it? Yeah, there we go. Because this only has 18. So we're going to use the capital NHL rosters, which is this. And we're just going to have to take, I think there's a month function in here. Let's find out. So month, we'll go NHL rosters. Let's start off. So do the same thing we did on every other one. We will go thing number 3. And this is going to be height, size of, let's just call it size of player based off of month and month born. Then we'll just take the averages from all those. So look at countries by month, filter birth country, and filter by their birth month. So this is going to be pretty tedious. Let's see how it goes first. Month, and we had birth date. I think we have to mutate actually. So mutate month, birth, month, month, months, and then birth. What is it called? Don't know why it's not showing up. All of a sudden, birth date. Yeah. So, okay. So birth date. See if it shows up. NHL. Oh, maybe because we didn't read in NHL rosters. That might help. Try this now. Go over all the way over here. Perfect. We got birth month. So we are going to, we have Canadian, but we're just gonna rename this month NHL months. Perfect. Why? Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, there we go. So we have NHL months now. Oh, what do we want to do first? think let's focus on Canadian born. This is Canadian born players. So let's just look at Canadian born players based on the months, just due to time restrictions and everything. So we're gonna interjoin or maybe interjoin, figure it out here in a second. NHL months. Since the joins haven't been working as well as I'd hoped today. Maybe. Wow, would you look at that? First try. All right, so we're going to group by, so we're going to call that Canadian months. Can months. Run that. Get a nice little thing down here. Now we're going to take Canadian months and we're going to, let's group by month, birth month, and see what comes up. Ideally, we wanted to just group it by everyone that, let's see. No, not what we wanted. So I guess we need to summarize, but so we're gonna just group by. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna filter. We're gonna have to filter 12 times by each month. So we're gonna start with January. So filter birth month equals. I think that's how you spell it. And that cuts down here. Should give us everything else still. So every player should be born in January. Perfect. All right, so we're going to do that 12 more times. Feel free to skip through, like I said before. This is just going to be a lot of same thing getting done over and over. We're actually going to just copy and paste this stuff so it saves us some typing. That's not how you spell February. How the heck do you spell February? Oh, man. NHL player burst. No, I think we called it like months or something. Canadian months. That's what it was. A little confusing on this. Some stuff I expected it worked in it, and vice versa. February. And I'm a journalism major, so February. Okay, so now we're gonna go March. Capital M. April. May. June. Skip a step. July. August. September. October's next, I believe. November. Love whoever invented copy and paste. Lifesaver. November. And finally, December. So let's read all these in. Hope they all read incorrectly. Perfect. We have our skewed amount of months, November, October, September's down here. So now I'm gonna take all of those and we are going to think we should take the average height and weight. So we're gonna take January, just open it for reference so we know what they're called. So we're gonna do height in inches and pounds. I don't care if they use the metric system down up in Canada or in America right now, so that's what I'm gonna use. So we're just gonna average height equals mean height in inches. And then we're also gonna mutate and do average weight. And that's gonna be the mean weight in pounds. Run that, see if it makes sure it gives us what we want before we rename January. Okay. So we're gonna go rename that. We'll just call it Jan 2. I don't want to get all, but after this, we should be able to just copy and paste all this. So we'll call this Feb 2. Feb. Boom. Next. March. R2. April 2. We'll go May 2. Once again, just a lot of doing the same thing over and over. So feel free to skip if you want to see some sort of final product. Not really sure how well it will go, but yeah, so we'll see. Let's just keep rolling. June to, I just named June. Okay. July to, keep an eye on the battery. It's getting a little low. August to, birthday's in August. Can't wait. Ways away though. All right, so after August, we got September to, then October to, then November to, and December to. Run all those. Should just add one more variable to every single one, or two variables, sorry. And now we should be able to fold. Oh man, that's gonna be fun. We're just gonna have to basically fold join these all back together. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. See if that even works to start. Don't think it's going to. Yeah, so we're just gonna have to do two at a time and then basically put everything together. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. Man. All right, so we're gonna full join. Next, it's gonna be March to April to June to July to nope, next month. May to July, August. Once again, like I've said before, I'm sure there is an easier way to do this, and I'm just missing it. But as long as I know where stuff is or what stuff is called, should be good. October 2nd, and finally November, December. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on those. Once again, we're gonna name, so it's gonna be 1, 2. Nope, full join, thank you. 1 and 2. 3, 4. Gonna full join these by 3 and 4 and 5, 6. Full join these by 5 and 6. Pretty self-explanatory. Run these. Now we're gonna do one. We're gonna do almost. Man, tedious. Full join. 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, and then we'll just do full effing months, and that will be a full join of almost and 5, 6. We've got full fucking months. Excuse my language. Now, I think we'll just go the G on point, which let me make sure full months actually looks like it should. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna just take full months. Wait, I'm just gonna do GG plot. These are all gonna be point plots just because I feel like they make the most sense. Actually, we might be able to do a bar plot here. No, because we have X and Y. So the only way we'd be able to do a bar. I guess let's take a look at the bar on just like height and weight and see what happens. So we'll do GM bar. Our data is going to be full effing months with our X aesthetic being average. What is it called? We'll go average height to start. No, our Y wants to be. Our Y is going to be months actually. Birth month. Let's just see what this looks like to start. Nope, not the count. We want our X. I don't know why I said Y. Which I think I can add weight here. So we're gonna go weight equals average height. Nope, not what we wanted. Y equals average height. Can't do that. All right. Once again, I'm gonna go look at my trusty whatever. Equals. From my previous stuff. X is month, first month. Weight is going to be average height. I don't think we need to fill right now, so we're just going to leave that. So why are they giving us this? Nah, forget it. We're just going to go ggplot. Gotta do a jam point just because it's going to be a little easier. This has been a little more than I expected, so bear with me. We're almost done. I'm going to grab my charger. Computer dying at this point, into the project would be my last reason on this earth. Thank you. So, all right, data. Oh, lagging. Okay, data full x equals, want the x equals birth month, the y to equal average, no. Want the x to equal average weight to equal average height. And then we'll color equals birth month. I'm gonna look at full months because for some reason some of these months just don't have their averages. Let's just go to like 1, 2. I just want to make sure I actually. Okay, so like November for some reason. The few that are empty. I don't know if I spelled them wrong or what. We're gonna have to go back and look real quick. Ah, yeah. So December. Rerun this. Let's just check every single. So April has stuff. August has stuff. December has stuff. February has stuff. January has stuff. July has stuff. June has stuff. March. May has stuff. November has stuff. October has stuff. September has stuff. Okay. right. And last but not least, so it looks like a lot of them are honestly closer than we expected. So June, July, I mean, there's a lot of overlap. You can't really tell great. Maybe if I try a line, but I'm not sure that'll help either. Um, yeah, the lines don't even show up. So we're just gonna do point. There's a lot of overlap, so I don't think there's a very large correlation regarding month and the size of the player there is, but that's about I think that's gonna wrap up the screencast. Thank you for bearing with me, and yeah, thank you.